Hi everyone, Monica Suberdefi here, and I'm excited to be here with you today for a 60-minute restorative yoga practice. Now, before we get started with restorative yoga, I want to just make sure that you are prepared for this journey. And what that means is we're going to need lots of props. So you'll see here that I have a firm blanket. So grab a firm blanket if you have one. I also have a bolster, many other blankets, pillows, a scarf to cover your eyes, and if you'd like blocks and straps, grab those too. So lots to keep you supportive, and just want to journey into today seeing something to become that something. Really a theme here around the power of visualization. In yoga and in life, visualization is a powerful tool for clarity, direction, and belief. Before we take action, we can see it, feel it, as though it's already true. Neuroscience shows that when we imagine a future moment, when we see ourselves stepping into a goal, a calling, or a state of peace, we activate the same regions of the brain as if it were already there. In fact, people who visualize clearly are up to 1.5 times more likely to achieve their goals. When I was navigating a big decision recently, I visualized stepping into the kind of work that I longed for. And now I'm stepping into that vision, one breath at a time. So today, let's give ourselves space to see and to feel our own becoming. I invite you to set a sankalpa today, or intention for your practice, to answer this question. What am I moving forward with? Maybe it's gently, patiently, with trust. Or perhaps the mantra for your intention is, I already am what I am becoming. So with that, I just invite you to change up the way you've been seated. If you're seated in cross-legged, easy pose, and roll your shoulders up, back, and down, up, back, and down, and just allow the spine to just relax. While our meditation is going on, you may even want to bring your blanket to the edge of your pelvis to allow your pelvis to tilt down slightly, which also helps to reach the spine more tall. And then just close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. If it does not feel comfortable for you, just bring a steady gaze right in front of you. And just settling into the right here and right now, to breathe and just be. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out of the mouth. I'm not trying to change anything about you, about your environment. Just noticing what's happening for you in the here and now as you breathe in through the nose and as you breathe out of the mouth. Our master saboteur, according to Sherzad Shemaine in Positive Intelligence, is the judge. And so the judge will arise as you sit and breathe here about yourself or about others. And just notice it and allow that judgment to pass as you inhale through the nose and as you exhale out of the mouth. And instead, visualizing what it is that you want to become. what you want in your life, and just breathe through it, knowing that that true self is within you and you're already there. Just have to find it within. Breathing in and then breathing out. And then bringing your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, prayer-like position, bowing your head to your heart and setting this intention for your practice. As I mentioned, maybe it's the answer to the question of, what am I moving toward? Or perhaps it's, I already am what I am becoming. Whatever it may be, just say it 3 times in your mind's eye. Inhaling and exhaling. And when you're ready, just placing your hands at heart center, if that serves you for your practice today. And if not, just taking a deep inhale through the nose and a cleansing open mouth exhale out. Perhaps lion's breath to seal that intention. That's sticking the tongue out as far as you can go to your chin, if it's comfortable for you. And doing it one more time. Good. And slowly allowing the eyes to flutter open if they've been closed. And then bringing your hands down to your legs, uncrossing those legs. Taking your time, we're going to go into, as our first restorative pose, bound angle. So you can bring your blanket to the long edge and just gently roll it up, just like that. And we will bring it, we're going to come into bound angle so the balls of the feet come together. And then we're going to wrap this just around and then bind it here. If you need some extra support for your legs, or your knees rather, you can bring the blocks just right underneath you. And then for about 10 to 12 minutes, we will be in this pose, but on our back. So just find Supta Baddha Konasana on your back. And just gently bringing yourself down to the mat. If you'd like to take a little bit more of a heart opener, you can also grab your blanket, roll it up this way, and then bring it behind the shoulder blades, and then gently allowing the head to rest down onto the floor. And just breathe here and be. So allowing your spine to open fully. Your heart to be gently opened through this pose. Pablo Picasso, the famous Spanish artist, once said, "Everything you can imagine is real." So visualize what it is that you want. with your body in this opening position, heart wide open and still, settling into this pose as you breathe and be. remaining where you are for about another minute or two. And breathing here, normal breath. Judith Lassiter, who started the restorative yoga movement in the US and rippled beyond the US, said that our bodies need at least 20 minutes to relax. And so at the beginning of this practice many years ago, each hold was less than 20 minutes, 20 minutes or more. And over the years, they've become less and less, now between 10 to 15. And even at some points on her website or that of her daughters, the poses are 5 to 6 minutes long. But sticking to the original tradition in the line of my yoga teacher training, I am going to hold for a minimum of 10 throughout my restorative yoga classes. So let's gently just make our way out of this pose, bringing our knees together, allowing the prop to fall to the side on our legs, and then gently just come to our side here into side lying child's pose to gently make our way up to our next pose. And this time we're going to do seated angle pose with a chair. So grabbing a chair or something that is going to allow you to relax and prop up. So you could also use your blanket or your bolster to hold your head into place, like this if you need it. You can just use the bolster, for example, and just do this. So just find what works right for you and your body and make no efforts to move quickly. Just do what feels right for you and comfortable. I'm going to grab my blanket so that my head feels comfortable here in this pose while I relax my head onto this chair, as well as relax my arms down. So you can open your legs as wide as you'd like or as comfortably as you'd like. I'm going to move mine in just a little more so that my legs touch the edge of the chair here. But again, just find what works best for you and your body. You can bring your arms to alligator arms, opposite hands to your elbows. Just do what feels good and right for you. And just breathe and be here for 10 minutes. Knowing that sometimes it may feel intense. And if it gets too intense, we don't want too much sensation here. We want to feel comfortable. Then just find what works best for you and your body. So perhaps for me, that means making some adjustments before I really settle in here. Bring your inner gaze to a vision that brings you peace or one of purpose. What if you could rest in the dream rather than chase it? Relaxing any tension you might be holding, any gripping. And just breathe. Taking about another minute. And then gently making your way out of this pose, not rushing, placing whatever you have, whatever you need here. Perhaps taking a sip of water Gently starting to bring your legs inward, moving your block, your bolster, or in the case of mine, your chair. We're going to move to a reclined twist. So we'll just grab our blanket here once more. And again, just thinking about rolling your blanket. Again, this is all an art for each of us as we figure out what makes most sense for us to feel supported in this. So for this twist, making sure you've got all the props that you need. As you've seen here, I've gotten some blankets that are underneath my shoulders. I've also got a in, making sure we still have some sound here. We might be having some technical. Right, just seeing how that works for us. So we've got a little bit different sounds coming in here. If you didn't hear me earlier, We have our support here in a reclined twist with our wedge between our legs. The blanket rolls up behind or right at our lower back. And then our arms are supported and elevated by blankets. So if you'll just take another few minutes here in this elevated twist. Maybe bringing your gaze to look up. It may be just too much to actually look over your right shoulder for such a long hold. But allowing this twist to help you release any fears you might have for visualizing what your future looks like and what you hope to become. So on the next inhale, visualizing what that is. And on the exhale, visualize the fear as vapor releasing from your mouth. Just letting that fear go. For that fear is holding you back from being, from becoming what you are truly meant to be. And we'll just take about another minute or so in this pose. Thank you for understanding any of the technical difficulties we may have experienced. And slowly making your way out, keeping your props where they are. We're just going to gently roll over to the other side. Again, taking your time, there is no rush here. And just remembering that this is the practice of becoming, not doing, but becoming, visualizing what it is that we want to be, what it is that we want to become. So perhaps before going into this pose, if you feel like you need a nice little windshield wiper of the legs, you may go ahead and take that. Just preparing again for that elevated pose on the other side. If you need to take a big hug to again reset that lower back, you may do that as well. Some gentle movement on the lower back. I myself am experiencing a little bit of lower back pain. Gently Bringing yourself back onto that blanket. Bringing your knees into your chest, and then slowly and gently making your way onto your left side here. Using whatever props you need to settle in here. Just adjusting those props to wherever they need to be to help you on this side. Just taking your gaze wherever you need it. Maybe it's looking straight up, or maybe instead of looking over your opposite shoulder, perhaps you're looking towards the same side. Again, yoga is meant for your improvement, right? You're becoming your true self. And so find this yoga as an opportunity to build that self-awareness. And in this moment, to visualize how it will feel to be your truest self. Remembering here also, if you need a little bit of extra, you can also use that block on your foot. So just, again, find what feels best and right for you and your body. Slowly making your way out of this pose, releasing whatever is not serving you, and also just letting go of all props, taking your time, readying yourself for your final resting pose. Maybe that means having a sip of your water. Maybe it means putting on an extra layer of clothes, socks, etc. For this particular final resting pose, feel free to be in Shavasana with all the comforts of blankets to lay down on, placing your towel or eye pillow on your eyes, placing blankets on top of you, placing your bolster or a blanket underneath your knees. You may also feel welcome if your lower back needs a little bit of extra support by bringing your legs up the wall, or even using your chair for that final resting pose. So do what feels right for you in your body and just choose that and settle into it. Whatever you need to do, go ahead and take it now to prepare your body. Your body just doesn't feel quite ready, just as mine is still in need of a little bit to prepare for that final resting pose. Just take whatever back bend you might need and just breathe gently. Again, you never want to feel pain during your yoga practice. Some slight discomfort is totally normal and natural. We just don't want pain. So just find whatever makes most sense for you in your practice today. Because I have the chair, I'm going to utilize it. And I'm going to bring my feet onto the chair here, elevating myself a bit. And then bringing some warmth to my body. And then resting here. So playing around with that and how far out your legs go. If you have some lower back pain or challenges like myself, I've been battling with them for the last week or so. So just do what works for you. You already have everything inside of you to become everything you dream of being. Know this. Let this be your truth. visualizing that self in your mind's eye, right here and now in Shavasana. Perhaps you see an image of your 5-year-old self. With that self you are becoming, that you already have inside of you. And that self that you are the truest version of grabs gently the hand of your 5-year-old self. And you walk towards a beautiful bright light. And you step into that light. And that 5-year-old and the true you become one. One with yourself. And one with that light that radiates through all beings. Perhaps you remain here in this pose, or perhaps you start to make your way out of it. Feel free to remain here for as long as you have time and are able. Otherwise, you can just slowly start to bring your legs down off the chair, your feet onto the floor if they're not already there. And then just bringing yourself into, again, that sideline position, cradling your head with your arm closest to the mat. And gently making your way up to that easy pose, seated position. Removing any props Bringing your hands to heart center and bowing your head with your eyes remaining closed if they were closed before. Thanking yourself for showing up to the practice today. Noticing how you might be feeling now compared to the beginning of the class. The mind is powerful, but the heart is wiser. Let your dreams begin from within. Bring your hands to that place of intuition between your brow. The teacher in me bows to the teacher in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you. May you go out into the world and breathe, lead, succeed. I'm the Dancing Warrior Yoga. Please share this with others who may need this message, but may also need this rest. And feel free to repost, like, comment, and share any questions you might have. Until next time, ciao.